the first kind of wave of emotion was just getting out of the car, because we had no idea how well it was going to be received, how many people would support it. And I mean, we started seeing the numbers of how many runners there were, so that was obvious. But there was just this feeling, unless you're there, you can't really describe it well. But just opening the car and like, you got to be kidding! All these people are here, and we didn't want to take it like selfishly, like they're here for Kyle, my nephew, or my sister, because they're really there for all the soldiers. And everybody that was there had a connection for one reason or another. Either they just cared about it, or they lost a relative, or they had somebody going through therapy after the wars, and so everybody had a reason to want to be connected to it. I mean, I'm sure there were some others who wanted to be in a great run, but they chose that one as opposed to another. There's a million runs out there, and this one was the one that 1,400 runners came out to be a part of. So I just thought it was so cool, sort of this electricity in the early morning hours. Everybody was gathering, and more cars were coming, and it was hard to find parking, and that was a good thing, So we got out, and just as we walked around, it was kind of hard to concentrate in a way, because there was just so much going on. There was all this people getting ready for the race, all the people wishing well for what the event was meant for, and it just kind of kept building up. So by the time we really started it and went up there to speak, I had kind of a difficult time choking out some of the words, because usually I handle myself okay no matter what the subject matter is, but just saying those words that my sister lost her son and my nephew was hard to put out in front of this crowd. But the kind of the warmth coming back, kind of ushered me through it. So there was, it's a cliche, but there was like a great energy to the event. Kyle's loss was definitely a devastating thing to the whole family. My sister Leslie in particular, his mother, and his father Larry. Those who haven't lost a child can't even imagine it. It's just out of sequence for starters, because the parent is supposed to go before the child, and it throws sort of the natural law out of balance. But to happen out of war, it's particularly devastating, because you're sending them off to something that's foreign. I don't mean just literally, but figuratively too. It's just so different than the way of life. We grow up with this free and easy America and all the things little kids do and aspire to later, and put them in a situation that it's difficult. It's like the cliche about war being hell, and they see things and experience things that the rest of us can't relate to. So obviously that's why some of them struggle when they come back. Leslie, really was floored by it all, and just for a while was having trouble just functioning through days, just kind of wanting to be alone and not really wanting to integrate back in herself. So she kind of experienced the same kind of process some of the soldiers do, about needing to get back out and reassociate with people and reintegrate into society in a sense. And she just did. She just got the strength, that you're never going to get over a death, particularly a tragic one like this. You just kind of learn to live with it better and cope with it better. And so clearly getting involved in something that benefited all the soldiers and honored her son in a way was the right thing for her. And I think the rest of the family too. We just kind of followed her lead on this and supported where we could. And there was one place on the course in particular that was my best moment of the day. They named a mile in honor of my nephew Kyle, his football number. So when they ran by number 9, that was for him. And there was a high school football team whose coach probably said, we're doing this as a team, like an assignment. And when you watch them and how they conducted themselves, it almost seemed like each kid had thought of it his own. Like, this is something I want to volunteer for, want to have an impact. And they all did. And I think they benefited from it too. I think the good thing is, just after 1 year, now the name of it has some effect. The first time around, I saw some people just running. They were running in Kirkland on a Saturday morning, and I just stopped them and said, hey, you guys do competitive running, and explain it. And honestly don't know if they actually did sign up or not, but I just briefed them on it. And I did it a couple more times down the block. So we were just like literally man on the street, like putting out the word. And you always had to kind of tell the whole story of what is it benefiting and what's the point of it. But now that it's been done and done well, there are a whole lot of people around here who'll just hear the title of it and go, oh yeah, I heard of that last year, or between last year and now, other runners have talked about it and kind of passed the word on that was a legit event, and people can expect a good time and a real race.